Well, a real estate agent told me once that New York was a $50 million house cash and LA was a $50 million house with a $48 million mortgage. She said people on the West Coast are just leveraged. The money's newer. It's different. It's not, as old, I guess. So then people just, there's more like keeping up with the Joneses attitude, perhaps.
Right. Well, LA's filled with that.
Filled with that.
That's the whole thing. It's like fake it till you make it.
Right.
It's the influencer culture.
Right.
People are renting houses and cars.
That's right.
And taking pictures in front of them, like blessed.
Yeah. And now I think it's just not even fake it till you make it. It's just fake it till you fake it.
Yeah,
you just gotta keep faking it.
Yeah, just keep faking it.
You got to keep
faking it. As you make it, fake it harder.
That's right.
Yeah, and we were just talking about the average price of a home in L.A. Is it California itself or L.A.? California itself. Yeah. The average price of a home is $1 million, which is
absurd.
So crazy.
It's so crazy.
That's so much money. And then the average income is like $60,000, right?
62 is the thing I saw.
62 is the average income.
Yeah.
$1 million is the average home.
It's unsustainable.
But that's
that
beyond.
Whole thing. Yeah, it's crazy.
Could you imagine the fucking fear that you would have if you had a $1 million mortgage and you made $60,000 a year?
What's worse about this whole thing? Go look at the houses for $1 million. They're dumps.
Yeah.
They're not even nice.
No.
Like, it's crazy what you don't get there.
Right. You'd have to live in like Palmdale to get a nice house for $1 million.
They're just, you know what it is? It's pretty. California's the girl that's just hot and forever has been hot.
But ruins your life.
Right. I mean, it's just pretty. It's stunningly beautiful. There are parts of it, like Montecito or Santa Barbara. You go up there, you go, this is so pretty. But everybody there's houses burned down 4 times. They're on their 3rd divorce. There's been mudslides. Their kids in rehab. But it's pretty.
A lady I looked at with a house up there, she died in a mudslide. The real estate lady that showed us the house.
This is what happens. But they'll tell you that in the way they talk.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara, it's always sunset, and they have this voice. And they tell you the worst things about something in the very nice, calm way. And they go, this is beautiful. It's a remodel because it burned down, and the family was in it. And that was sad. But it burned down, and it's a remodel, and they did a great job, and the finishes are beautiful. And, you're not in the path of the mudslide. You're not in the direct path, but you're in an area that can have seismic activity. We don't love that. The fire department, and they got called on this, did the vegetation or something so that when the floods hit, Montecito was kind of spared. They tried, and they got called out on this. The LA Fire Department or whatever was they had to do certain things where they prioritize that area over all the other areas.
Well, the problem is the fire hits, the vegetation gets burned down, and then they get the mudslides because they don't have anything protecting the erosion anymore.
Right.
Right. And that's what happened. They had a big ass fire up there, which they have all the time. I mean, when I lived in LA, where I lived, we were evacuated 3 times.
Wow.
3 times. Wow. One time, it burnt the fucking next door neighbor's house.
Just
2
for clarity,
of them.
It's by 2030, but it's still 900,000 right now. I just saw.
Okay, only $900,000. It's a bargain.
That's crazy.
It's a bargain for someone to make $62,000 a year.
Yeah.
Just imagine being in the hole like that.
This is the whole problem.
Because you can't make, even if you made $62,000 a year and had 0 expenses, right? And didn't have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
It still is going to take you fucking forever to pay that off. You're never going to be able to pay it off.
Before we engineered this crisis. We allowed this to happen. We let foreign billionaires buy stuff. We let our own companies buy residential real estate. We let it all happen. And it's right before we could enact laws. We could stop it. Anything that's happening could be stopped. But it's right before they start telling people, okay, live in a pod. Live in this pod. This is right before they start introducing okay, you know what? It's too expensive for you. Guess what? Here's the good news. And they're just going to 3D printed housing everywhere in the middle of the desert. It's going to be a nightmare.
The wildest one is funds, right? Funds buying up houses, residential houses, so they can
do
just
it all
rent
the
them
time.
out. Yeah, they're doing it a lot now.
They do it all the time. But I do feel like we are right there where it's going to get so bad where they're just going to start, whether it's 3D printing or whatever they're doing, where they're just going to have houses and go, here we go. Here we go. They're all together. They're all,
You
They're
have a
not
15-minute city. There's no reason for you to go outside of your 15-minute city.
You have it.
You have a little park over here. Go to your park.
And you're going to live in that, and they're going to have an app, and your whole life will be an app. There'll be an app with your city,
Yeah.
Everything will be on the app.
Check in when you get outside the
You won't need
the
to own a
city.
car. You won't need to own a house.
It'll
you
give
won't
you
need...
a countdown.
That's right.
When you leave the 15-minute city.
That's right.
You have 40 hours
That's right.
to return.
And then climate change is going to be the big reason they'll use.
Yeah.
They'll say because of climate, we're limiting automobile ownership. We're limiting this. We're limiting that. And that seems to be the next step.
Yeah. That's a scary one. The climate thing's a scary one.
Big
because
time.
they're using it just like they use everything else. And you have to be a good person, so you want to
That's
support
right.
climate change. You want to support
That's right.
the measures. You want to do your part.
You don't want to be a psychopath.
We got to kill these cows. They're making methane.
These people are bad people, that are doing these things like leaving their home. They're sick. Do you want to be sick? So that's inevitably, I think, what happens is all of these things are, it's a crisis that's not, this is not organic.
Right.
It's not organic that all of these cities are being bought up. None of this was inevitable. All of this could have been stopped. And it is right now not being stopped.
Yeah.
Average income 62,000, average house 900,000, and the response to that is,
And then